In the heart of a city once alive with sound, there came a silence that wasn't peaceful. It was deadly. Welcome to Denver, where the quiet isn't just eerie, it's hunting. This is the chilling tale of what happens when silence becomes a predator, and even a whisper can seal your fate. Brace yourself, because after tonight, you'll never hear silence the same way again. The night was colder than usual in Denver, with the kind of silence that didn't feel peaceful but oppressive, like the air itself was holding its breath. Streetlights buzzed faintly, casting dim halos over the empty sidewalks. Snow fell in slow, deliberate flurries, muffling the world even more. The city, usually humming with late-night life, was dead quiet. But this wasn't the ordinary quiet of a winter night. This was different. This was wrong. People in Denver had been whispering about the silence for weeks now. At first, it was brushed off. Just another story passed between tired workers over coffee or late-night bartenders sweeping up. But then, the disappearances began. Quiet ones. No screams, no signs. Just gone. Apartments left with food still warm on the stove. Phones left ringing on the kitchen counter. It always happened during the silent hours between 2 and 3 a.m. when the city seemed to fold into itself. Locals called it the dead silence. It wasn't just a lack of sound. It was the presence of something else. Something invisible, watching, waiting. Radios stopped working during that hour. Phones lost signal. Security cameras froze. Dogs whimpered and hid under furniture. Every natural sound, wind, creaks, even heartbeats, felt like they were being swallowed by a blanket of unnatural stillness. At first, the police tried to investigate, but none of their equipment worked at those times. Body cams went black. Radios crackled with static. GPS trackers froze in place. One officer never returned from a midnight patrol. His last message, barely audible over a burst of static, was only 2 words. It's listening. Whatever it was, people knew better than to speak of it too loudly. They avoided asking questions. They ignored the missing posters that began piling up on telephone poles. Some neighborhoods even started boarding up their windows before nightfall. Candles replaced electric lights. Families huddled in basements. And at exactly 1:59 a.m., the entire city held its breath. The silence wasn't just the absence of noise. It was like stepping into another world, a dimension where sound didn't exist. And something ancient lurked in the stillness, something that fed on quiet, that grew stronger with every word unspoken. One night, an old man tried to defy it. He played his radio at full blast, chanting old songs in his native tongue. He believed noise would protect him. But when the clock struck 2, the music stopped mid-verse. The next morning, his apartment was found empty, the vinyl still spinning silently. Then came the girl who live-streamed herself during the silent hour, laughing off the curse for views. Her audience watched as the sound vanished, her lips moving without audio. Her expression shifted from amused to terrified. She screamed, but no one heard a thing. Her room blurred for a moment. The feed flickered. And then, just static. She was never seen again. Experts were called in. Scientists, psychics, priests. They all tried to explain it. Some said it was a rift in time. Others said it was a curse from Denver's buried past. A few whispered of an entity that existed only in silence, a thing that hunted sound, or rather, its absence. But none could stop it. Some began leaving town, others couldn't. The ones who stayed learned to survive, never speak during the hour, never make a sound. No whispers, no breaths, just stillness. Total, obedient stillness. One survivor left a note scratched into a door frame before vanishing himself. It read, It hears nothing. That's how it knows you. The most chilling part was that there was never any evidence of struggle. No signs of entry, no blood, just the absence of people, as if they'd been erased, as if they never existed. Denver's silence became legend, the kind of story people passed down quietly, too afraid to say it out loud. Travelers were warned, but rarely believed it. They thought it was a myth, until they stayed too long, until they heard nothing at all. The media tried to spin it as a coincidence, a case of mass paranoia, but reporters who investigated never returned. Their articles stopped mid-sentence. Their recordings played back only static. It was as if the silence was growing. Some believed the silence was spreading beyond Denver, that it was a parasite feeding on noise, moving from city to city, devouring life as it went. There were reports of similar incidents in small towns nearby, cows frozen in fields, birds dropping mid-flight, entire forests going silent. But no one could confirm, because those who investigated didn't come back. Still, each night, Denver sits in wait. At 1:59, all motion ceases. Lights dim, breaths are held, clocks tick in slow motion. And then, nothing. No wind, no cars, no footsteps, no thoughts too loud. Just pure, dead silence. But in that silence, if you listen carefully, if you're foolish enough to try, you might hear a faint echo of something moving. Not in the air, but through it. A slithering pressure. A presence that is always just out of view, waiting for you to make a single sound. And when you do, it finds you. No one knows what it truly wants. Some think it's lonely. Others say it's punishment. Maybe it was born from the noise of modern life, starving for peace. Or maybe it's older than time, feeding on the one thing we always take for granted, our voices. In Denver, no one dares to speak about it anymore. Not out of fear, but out of understanding. Because the silence isn't just a curse, it's alive. And it's always listening. If you're ever in Denver and the clock strikes 2, don't speak. Don't move. Don't even breathe too loud. Because in the dead silence, something ancient is listening. And once it finds you, no sound will ever save you. Remember, some stories aren't meant to be heard, only survived. Until next time, if there is a next time, stay loud, stay alive.